I'm Jenny Hoff, the Communications Director for the City of Bee Cave, and welcome to our very first episode of The Buzz. This is our new monthly show that's going to update you on what's going on in your city. We're dedicating this episode to the brand new capital improvement plan that was passed by City Council. This $103 million plan is the first CIP ever approved by the City of Bee Cave, and it will create a lot of new infrastructure to make it easier to get around. I'm starting here off of Willy Way Road. You might recognize it. It's the new road off of Bee Cave Parkway that goes behind Target. And right now it just leads behind Target and into the Ladera neighborhood, but pretty soon it's going to go even further. Let's go check it out. Hello, we are now across the street and we are at the continuation of Willy Way. That's what this gravel road will become, and it's going to go right through the backyard. Now we'll go into that development in next month's episode, but just to give you a few highlights, it will include an amphitheater, a small hotel, some retail shops, cafe, some food options, as well as some office space. It will also have a very large garage that will accommodate cars and visitors to Bee Cave Central Park when there's not events going on here. Speaking of Bee Cave Central Park, our beautiful park will be getting an upgrade as well, starting with a new road that will go around the park. You've been to Zilker Park in Austin, you'll see it's about the same idea. So that will allow for much more accessibility to the other areas of the park, as well as ample parking for all of our visitors, and that is a problem right now. The CIP includes new programming for Bee Cave Central Park, including the potential of a play-for-all play space where kids of all abilities can play together, a splash pad, sports courts, and even potentially a community theater. So a lot of fun going on right here at Bee Cave Central Park. This also happens to be the best location to be right next to the brand new library. Bee Cave will be getting a new library building. If you've been to our current one, you know it is a small space for the amazing things that they put on all year round. Speaking of buildings, we've got a few more on the horizon. I'm in front of the Bee Cave Police Department, or should I say the old Bee Cave Police Department. This is one of the buildings that will be getting an upgrade. Bee Cave Police, in order to accommodate our growing city, will be getting a bigger building to accommodate their growing force. Speaking of new buildings, I am standing in the space that will become the new Bee Cave City Hall. Bee Cave City Hall will be relocated to the village of Spanish Oaks, a new development between Spanish Oaks Boulevard and Great Divide. The good news is the city of Bee Cave has been hard at work really expanding the trail system, so you should be able to bicycle or walk to many of these locations, staying on the beautiful trails and getting out of nature. Speaking of nature, I'm on this 45-acre beautiful parcel of property called the Brown property along Little Barton Creek, and this is the site of potentially a nature center for the city of Bee Cave. And in fact, UT architecture students are hard at work right now coming up with plans of what the building could look like to fit into the natural space, but be a beautiful site for all to enjoy. Now, of course, this was just the highlights of what's in the CIP. There's a lot more information on our website at beecavetexas.gov, on our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter accounts as well. We'll be back next month with a new episode of The Buzz.